Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm at Pink, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that permanent hodler addresses have accumulated around $23 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 30 days. So you can see that the big whales are buying heavily. The second thing I would like to talk about is that Bank of Japan announced now that no more rate hikes in near term due to market volatility. So it looks like now they did what they did, increase the interest rate, caused this kind of panic on the market. And now they're saying, okay, well, then in near term, no more rate hikes. So that was the reaction. And then let's talk about the inflows into Ethereum spot ETF when it comes to IBIT, and let's talk about the Bitcoin spot ETF, how many Bitcoins already BlackRock, for example, has. So all these things today in today's video. And don't forget, every single day, I bring you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So if that's important, very simple, just subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And now let's do it. Well, let's start with the chart as usually. The prices, then move on to the chart. So we can see that Bitcoin is above 57 US dollar at the moment. This is a 4% increase in the last 24 hours. Ethereum, 1% up, 2,464 US dollar. When we're looking at the top gainer, we have Popcat in the top 100, got it, top 100 with 39% increase. Dog with Hat coming back with 6%, and Sui up 12%. Losers, well, Maker down 3%, 3.6 in the last 24 hours. Lido down 2.6, and Akash Network 1.57. Okay, so no big deal at all. We're still going up since this, big dump what we have witnessed here when Bitcoin went all the way down to 4,050 US dollar. Since that, when you're looking at this here, we have bit more than 16% recovery, and which brings us 22%, roughly speaking, below the all-time high. So when you're looking at the big picture, then you can see, well, Bitcoin is just down to the all-time high, 22%. That's not bad if you're talking about the correction, right? And when looking at even the bigger picture, you can see that we talked about Bitcoin price around 15,000 US dollar, even when we were back in, December 2022. So basically, we had Bitcoin price, where was it like 1 year ago? It's 23 October, August. Where is it? About here. Yeah. So year ago, we had around 29,000 US dollar. Worth of Bitcoin. Now, even with this big dump and correction, right now we at 57 and 22% away from the all-time high. So this is, I think, not bad. So this is how much it came down from the all-time high. This is what I meant. Right. Okay. And by the way, money printer, it's probably working heavier and heavier sooner or later, as today the US Treasury starts buying back 30 billion of treasuries a month, starting right now today, but in a month term, it's going to be 30 billion US dollar. So this is quite significant. Okay, and now let's move on to the first topic, because we had a lot of buyers, big guys, in the last 30 days. Actually, the permanent hodler addresses accumulated around $23 billion worth of Bitcoin in the last 30 days. So very interesting situation, because you should always, read among the lines, because we have this big dump, we have this huge fear on the market. But when you're looking at the big guys, the permanent hodler addresses, actually, these addresses have accumulated nearly 23 billion US dollar worth of Bitcoin. In Bitcoin terms, it's more than 404 50,000 Bitcoin, as you can see it here. And looking at this chart here, which shows the BTC 30-day demand changes, permanent holders addresses and ETFs, you can see clearly that this accumulation, it was like we have never seen before. And even we have this kind of sideways movements, and we had this correction definitely on Monday when Bitcoin went all the way down to 40,050 US dollar. But it looks like, the big guys, they just don't care. So probably in long term, it's looking pretty good. And, let's talk about a little bit the CME gaps, which usually got filled. And, we have actually two. And on the way up now, when we above now 57, it's likely to have the first one filled, and then here is the second one. Well, this was actually done on the way down, to be honest with you, but it needs to be happening on the way up. Is that right? Or no, actually, it's still okay. Doesn't matter. You got the point. Many cases, in many situations, these gaps are filled. So this is another thing, and. Yeah. Okay. Also, let's talk about historically how August looks like for Bitcoin, because it's not the brightest and the best month for sure. Okay. Look at this one here. You can see here the Bitcoin monthly returns. And when it comes to August, so far we have almost 12% minus. Interestingly, last year it was also 11% something. Before that, 13%. So these are the last, 3 years. And historically speaking, we had actually 4 years when August was pretty big, or at least in plus, because when it's 2.8% plus, it's not a big one. And September, historically, it's probably the worst month for Bitcoin. However, I just wanted to point out that, look, recently what's happening here. Recently, in 2022, we had minus 3%. That's not bad. In 2023, we had actually plus almost 4%. And it looks like it's a little bit shifting, these things, shifting towards August. And August is getting here worse recently. So what if, this is just a question, but what if the worst thing is happening now in August? September, just like last year. It could be in plus. No, just a question. But whatever you think, you can let me know in the comment section. Okay, so just to know what happened recently with Bitcoin in August. And right, next one I would like to talk about is all about the Bank of Japan announced that no more rate hikes in near term due to the market volatility. So what we had here recently, everything went in red. Probably, one of the main reasons why this happened, it's pretty much BOJ announced that, there is interest rate hike in Japan. And because of this, the Japanese yen, got stronger compared to the US dollar. And this caused a lot of problems, especially for those who were doing carry trades. Because what you do, you actually get a loan in Japanese yen for no interest. You don't have to pay interest. And then you invested in another asset, for example, in the US stock market. But now that they started to increase interest rate in Japan out of the sudden, in a way that, they haven't done something like this for a while. This was one issue. And then the second thing is when you're looking at the US dollar and Japanese yen, and I think it went down to 141. Yeah, 141 yen per dollar. Now, because they announced this, now it's coming back to 147. So it's weakening the Japanese yen again. But when you think about it, then those guys who invested in other markets, now they had to sell their assets to just pay back because it's not worth it anymore. And now the answer from Bank of Japan was that, okay, then no more rate hikes in near term. Okay. Job done. I don't know how, they could be convinced that quick, but yeah, this is what happened. And then now let's talk about the ETF inflows, even talking about Ethereum spot ETF and Bitcoin spot ETF in the United States. Well, when you're looking at Ethereum ETF inflows, then you can see clearly that BlackRock doing pretty well. Last day, almost $110 million worth of Ethereum inflow, right? And even the, what's that, Fidelity, also for 22 million US dollar. Before that, there were also, so in BlackRock, it's, when you're looking at, even it's positive, so it's inflow or no outflow and no inflow, of course. When you're looking at Bitcoin, so that's what Ethereum ETF, then you can see that what BlackRock is doing, so they accumulated quite heavily. And when we had this pretty difficult day on the 5th of August, and actually continuing a little bit on the 6th of August, so yesterday, they had no outflows. And this message is, I think, pretty strong, to be honest with you. And when you're looking at now the numbers, what they're doing, accumulating, you can see that BlackRock holds 344,070 Bitcoin already. And basically, they just started to accumulate in this year after the 11th of January, when the Bitcoin spot ETF trading started in the United States. So you can see that how much they accumulate here. And yeah, we're talking about 450 Bitcoin getting into the system a day. And this is how much they got already here, as you can see. So, well, they're getting your Bitcoin if you're selling them, pretty much. This is how it sounds. Right, and finally, let's talking about the possibility that maybe Bitcoin miners' capitulation can come to the end. Well, Bitcoin miners, always, part of them, capitulate when the halving is happening. Why? Because basically the block reward, it's cut in half. So for them, to mine Bitcoin, not all of them is worth to do it. But now, when you're looking at the Bitcoin hash rate, you can see that actually it's climbing back from where it was in July. It's very close to its all-time high, to be honest with you. And also, when you're looking at the price, how much a Bitcoin cost to mine in the United States, roughly speaking, is now 43,000 US dollar, something like that. So even on the present price after the fall, it's still worth to mine it. Therefore, probably those miners who are still in the game, they going to continue. And that could mean that, it always takes a month after the halving, but that could mean that we had the halving in April, and now August, kind of September-ish, this kind of Bitcoin miners capitulation can get to the end if the price stays, for example, above this 43,000 US dollar. So this is actually a bullish sign in a way, because one thing was, when was Bitcoin selling pressure on, it was because of the miners who needed that money to sell Bitcoin. Okay, guys, I think that's it for today. Don't forget, every single day I bring you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So that's important, very simple. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Also hit the like button if you like this kind of content. And also you're getting these short videos. So if you're not watching these longer videos between Monday and Thursday, then every single day, the main news you're getting in short videos. But for that, you have to subscribe. Otherwise, you will miss it. But if you subscribe, then you're getting the notifications. So that's it. See you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.